Welcome back. Hope everyone is doing great. Presenting this video, surrendering to my Guru's feet and the spiritual masters, whoever have given me the in-depth understanding of life in and out. This video is going to be a little bigger one, so as to pass on a deeper insight. Okay, now coming back to the video, this video is about the immunity and the Pancha Bootha are the fundamental five basic elements and the connection between them, a deeper insight among them. Are they really completely different five entities formed or one got transformed to other? Let's get into it. Immunity and Pancha Bootha, a deeper understanding. In the current situation, we, the humans of the whole world, are trying to improve our immune system. Yes, we are right. Only the immune system can save our health from any harmful or unsuitable foreign bodies. But what's immunity? How it's formed inside the body? We all know the whole universe is the combination of five basic elements, and so are the humans. So, in what way the immunity is formed from these elements within ourselves? Pancha Bootha Tatva, that is the five basic elements, express itself in terms of five primary powers or forces, namely the Akash, air, heat, water, and earth. So, the power of the forces represents any one of the five primary elements of this universe. It's categorized based on an important characteristics feature, that is the heat or the cold nature. Now, the important characteristics differences between the heat and the cold energy forces should be understood clearly. Cold energy forces. It's the Shiva Tatva. Its nature is immovable, at rest, helps to retain in shape, freeze in shape, etc. Heat energy forces. It's the Shakti Tatva. Its nature is constantly moving and moves from place to place, restless, shapeless, etc. Basics of creation. For any new form or shape to be formed, be it living or non-living things, a fusion or the union of two main forces, namely the heat and cold at a particular ratio, is essential, both to form and withhold the shape. This is the basis for any matter to exist in this universe. We need to understand this deeper. Among these, the immunity power represents the power of heat. The five basic forces and elements. For a proper understanding of the immunity, we need to understand the basis of the five elements based forces and their true formation. The first comes the Akash. This is the primary force, that is the formless. In this form, the power of heat and cold forces are in an inseparable mixed form. It's the origin form, and any origin form will never have individual characteristics, but will have all the characteristics encapsulated in its nature. We can never refer to the Akash Tattva with heat or cold nature individually. The next comes the air Tattva. When it undergoes changes in its proportion of nature, the Akash Tattva paves way to the formation of the second force, namely the air Tattva. In this Tattva, the hot and the cold forces are still present in the mixed form, but an increase in the nature of the heat force is present in the air compared to the Akash Tatva. This makes it unique from the Akash Tatva. The third comes the Heat Tatva. In Tamil, we call it as Veppam. When air tattva changes in its proportion of nature, it paves way to the formation of the third force, the heat. So, we can understand the power or the force of heat to be in the form of the power or the force of air. In this tattva, the proportion of the heat nature will be more than that of the air tattva. It moves and is restless much more compared to the air. It doesn't stay in any shape. It always moves, that is, it comes and goes in cycle, never settles or rests in a place. In both the air and the heat forces, the power of heat is found in increased proportion among the five forces. Now comes the water force. When the heat tattva changes in its proportion of nature, it paves way to the formation of the fourth force, the water. The state of permanence can be seen in this force compared to the above three forces. The force of water formed from the force of heat has cold nature. Interestingly, this force of water also has force of heat within it. It's only because of this nature it's able to move. Example, the rainfall from sky to earth, the movement of river water, only the force of heat makes this possible. Since its cool nature is high compared to heat force, it's able to retain shape and still move due to the heat within it. So, we can understand water is actually a form of force of heat. Now comes the earth element. When the water tattva changes in its proportion of nature, it paves way to the formation of the fifth force, the earth. Among the five forces, it's only this force which has the power of the permanence. Only if the cold nature is high, it can be termed as the force of earth. It's visible in the state of earth and our own body. The force or the power of water and the water element is high in the body. The five elements, the power of the coldness within the air and the earth, and the power of heat within the air, heat, water, and earth unite with each other in different proportions to form the five basic elements, that is, the Akash element, the air element, the heat, water, and the earth element. The human body. It represents the earth element. The water content is very high, that is the cold energy force. All the five elements are present inside our body. We are inside Akash and the Akash is inside us. Now comes the secret of health or the immunity. For the physical body to stay in proper shape, the fusion between the forces of heat and cold or the water should happen within the body in a particular proportion. Only in that particular proportion, the body will be healthy and fit. This is the basis of immunity. For the body to be healthy and fit, the cold nature of force should not stay in a particular place, shouldn't freeze, should not stay within the body for a long time. Whenever the cold nature remains for a long time, the earth element can't stay fit in shape. It spoils the nature of the earth element. For example, if the force of water remains within the rock, slowly it changes to soil, unable to retain its shape. Then, if it continues, the soil turns to the loamy or the clayey soil. Similarly, if the force of water increases or retains inside our body, it spoils the fitness of the body. It increases the phlegm in the body. The phlegm affects the body's bone strength. It weakens the bone structure. So, the cold or the water content and the force of water should neither increase nor decrease in our body. So, the golden rule is the heat and the cold forces should be in proper proportion within the body. The cold force shouldn't stay for long in the body. Now, let's learn the link between the immunity and the force of heat. It is the force of heat that maintains the proper proportion of the force of water within the body for maintaining the health of the human body. It is called the immunity in the human body. Example: hunger. The feeling of hunger is also the indication of the increase in the force of heat within the body. The other examples are thinking or the strength for working, etc. Only if the force of heat reduces within the body, we are able to sleep peacefully. The excretion of the body can happen only when the force of heat reduces. The force of heat should reach the maximum and then reduce completely for any kind of excretion to happen in the body, including sweat. The force of heat regulates the force of cold or the water within the body for proper immunity to develop in our body. The cold force should not stay inside the body for long. Hope you have understood the concept of the Pancha Boothas and the immunity concept and the interlinks between them. In the upcoming videos, let's learn what are the do's and don'ts for keeping both the cold and the heat forces in the right proportion within the human body and to keep ourselves fit and healthy using very simple methods. This is for today, and thank you and have a great day. Take care and bye bye and stay safe.